Thanks, Coach. You can start us off with opening comments.
Egg Bowl week, huge week for us. Big rivalry game on the road. Looking forward to the challenge. Tough turnaround coming off Saturday, getting ready for a Thursday game that obviously presents some challenges, but having a rivalry game to get ready for obviously helps your focus, and looking forward to the challenge and looking for the opportunity.
Now raise your hand if you have a question. We'll bring the microphone to you.
Matt, what's it been like to be involved in this rivalry now, considering all that's happened off the field between the two programs?
It's always been a big game for as long as I can remember. To the people of the state of Mississippi, this is bragging rights. It's a huge game, and it is every year, no matter what the situation.
Matt, I think this is Egg Bowl 15 for you. Is that correct?
I don't know. It's been more. So it's really Egg Bowl every time. So I'm 41, so it's really Egg Bowl 41. So.
What games or plays? I mean, what stands out? What do you remember really clearly about the rivalry?
I don't know. I thought one cool thing. My brother. We played in Jackson. I just remember being at that game and him running for a couple of touchdowns, and I think maybe the Clarion Ledger had the next day was the Gospel According to Luke. I just always thought that was really cool. That's been a great memory for me. And then obviously, I was at the game when the field goal, the wind, I was at that game. I think I had my head down, not looking, and then then obviously playing and then coaching in it. It's a great rivalry. And it's great for the whole state of Mississippi.
Questions?
What are your concerns for Mississippi State on both sides of the ball?
Obviously, they do a great job of running the football, and that's something that we've struggled with. And so I think we have our work cut out going there and stopping the run and forcing them to throw it. And then, they've done a great job on defense. Coach Granthony's done a phenomenal job. I think we have to do a good job of handling crowd noise first and foremost. We got to do a good job of handling that. And then we got to keep our balance. We got to go play fast. We got to be able to run the football and then take advantage of our matchups outside.
Matt, I know you got a chance to look at the film from Saturday. What do you think happened in the second half offensively?
You know what? I just we got behind the chains a bunch, and typically we haven't been very good when we've been behind the chains. And I don't think any offense is. You can't have penalties. You can't have negative yardage plays, and then obviously the turnover backed up for a touchdown. Obviously the difference in the game. So that's you can't turn the ball over, especially for touchdowns. So those are the things that happen. And then maybe a little bit the wind, affecting the ball down the field. I think affected both offenses in the second half.
Conversely, what do you think turned the light on for the defense to be able to do as well as they did in that game?
Well, watching the tape, we got off blocks better. We weren't just in our gaps. We got off blocks and we made plays, and our DBs pressed a little bit more and challenged the receivers a little bit more. So I was happy to see that. Got a turnover and basically held them to 3 points in the second half. So really pleased with the strides. So our challenge this week is let's put our total game together. We got one last game. We got 4 days together. One last game. Let's go play our best game collectively this week.
Matt, some of your players last week talked about wanting to be successful, wanting to play well to help you relative to the coaching search. How does that make you feel? How do you think emotion plays out in this game?
Well, I think this game is emotional for a lot of different reasons. But, again, my job is to focus on these players and give them the best chance to win this game. I've said this before. I've been a part of teams that had a better record, but I am really, really proud of what this team's been able to accomplish with all they've been through, and we got one more opportunity to go play together. So we're going to enjoy this 4 days together. We're going to enjoy Thursday night.
Matt, could you update Devon Penniman, Jordan Tamu, Alex Gibbons, anybody else that got banged up on Saturday?
Alex is going to be out. He's in the concussion protocol, and because of the quick turnaround, there's not going to be enough time because of the concussion protocol. Penniman is probably going to have surgery in the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's a pretty significant injury, so he'll be out for some significant time. There'll be injury in 2-3 weeks. Tom, who's fine, he was hit, just in the throat, and, but, he came back and he's been fine. Defensively, Jalen Julius still in concussion protocol. Markel Pack, looks like he's gonna be probable for the game, so I'm hoping that he'll be able to do some stuff today, and then maybe practice tomorrow, with the injury to Van. That's big for us, giving us some depth there in the slot.
Van's out.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think he didn't practice yesterday, and, I don't wanna rule him all the way out, but, he's questionable at best.
Got a big play the other night from Braylon Sanders. Tell me about him, since Van's out, will he get more chances, you think?
Yeah, no doubt. I think, in the slot behind AJ, he's the next guy up, so if AJ runs a deep ball or, he's gonna he gets winded, Braylon's gonna go in there, and I'm really, really proud of him. He's one of the guys that was one of the pleasant surprises of fall camp. You saw that he's got ability, he's got a bright future ahead of him. So anytime you can get out there and get your feet wet and make plays in an SEC game, I think that bodes well for his future.
I know AJ was disappointed in that drop he made towards the end of the game, but he's going home, which is gonna be a brutal place for him to have to play at. I would think that he would be one of the leaders of this offense this week.
AJ is not only one of our leaders and top players, one of the top players in the country, and he will be a focal point for us to get him the ball. I'm sure this will be a big game for him. It's a big game for all of us, anybody from Mississippi, but especially for him. Going back home, I'm sure it'll be a big game and emotional. But again, he's got all of his teammates will be behind him, and we're looking forward to the opportunity and the challenge.
I guess I'll be the one to kick the elephant in the room in the butt. Deontay Anderson news with him hiring a lawyer, and
Right.
what's the necessity of that?
Deontay, in all my dealings with him, is a great kid, and, we wish him the best. Now, as far as all the transfer stuff, there's a standard operating procedure that you have to go through compliance for all that, and, they'll handle all that. But again, for me, he's been nothing but great. He's been on the scout team this year while I was taking his red shirt and done a great job. So, he's fun, he's a good kid to be around. But as far as all the transfer stuff, that's gotta go through compliance.
We'll take questions in the back of the room.
Coach, I know you hit on this a little bit earlier, but how would you just kind of characterize the experience this season? I know it's not over yet, but starting to finish.
It's been great. I've gotten to, and the reason it's just been so different for me is I was always really close to the offensive line and the offensive side of the ball. But for me to get to know the different kids on defense and to become close with the whole team, and for this team to develop an identity, it's been great and a great experience for me.
Another elephant in the room, probably, with Mississippi State players being involved with so many of these allegations in the second letter. I know the fans and administration and coaches take it personal, but do the Ole Miss players?
I think what the players are focused on is winning the football game. And that's what you have to focus on, is winning the game. All allegations and none of that stuff, nothing affects what happens on Thursday night. And our 100% focus is gonna be on the game on Thursday night and trying to go get a win.
Follow-up question to that, does the coaching staff feel even a little bit more pressure to make sure they win this game because of all that's transpired?
Well, if you're a coach at Ole Miss, there's always pressure to win this game no matter what. And, it's always one of the biggest games of the season. And you have to treat it that way. And me being from Mississippi, I know that more than anybody.